Right, so I'm going to start off here on the daily on EU. We have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom, as always. So what's this daily chart showing us? Well, yesterday, of course, we closed out as a bullish day, bullish engulfing, you could call it. Came really close to taking this previous weekly high buy side liquidity, which is now just above the previous daily high. So after we've taken this liquidity down here, we have eventually now seemed to have broken out. We're in some sort of bullish phase, at least temporarily. DXY, that SMC is sort of playing out now, right? We're seeing weakness from the DXY. We've had a few bearish days in a row, and we swept that previous weekly high buy side liquidity, which triggered, I guess, that move down. As you can see so far today, we're bullish, at least at the moment. We started off bullish and we're bearish on DXY. However, DXY has now just taken that previous daily low as its sell side liquidity. So we're going to have some divergence as well, obviously, because EU has not taken that previous daily high. So we'll see how far this goes. We'll see if DXY continues bearish and if we're going to come and target this buy side liquidity as well or beyond it. There's a small imbalance right above that as well. So we could mitigate that today if DXY continues in that direction. So let's go down to the 4 hour. Let's see what structure is showing us. So we have some really early signs now of this bullish direction where we didn't take out this low and now we've eventually made this higher high right above these internal highs here. Price looks to be gunning for this previous weekly high, which I was measuring as the leg on the 4 hour from this high to this low as our bearish leg. Now if we break through that leg, it gives more confidence towards us continuing bullish. We have a resistance POI just above that, so we may battle with that area there. I wouldn't necessarily want to go long in that zone here, right? Or after we take these buy side liquidities, but we'll see what the price action does if we do take those. At the moment, we've gone for our previous daily low. It's not live here on the 4 hour chart for whichever reason. So we've made that lower low already. So there will be some divergence and there will be sell side liquidity taken from DXY. So let's go down to the 1 hour where we can see that clearly, and it may cause us to go bearish on EU possibly and have some sort of bullish move on DXY. Now the 1 hour chart is a lot clearer in my opinion. We can see our most recent leg here, right? Yesterday where we swept that sell side liquidity below these lows and then made that higher high. So for me, this would be our discount to our premium, right? So discount down here, premium up here. We're still within the premium of this leg, right? So it would make sense for us to come down towards this imbalance and draw on price. This is just the last order block candle, but this whole thing here is an order block. However, we know price likes to generally come down to the last order block. So I've drawn out this draw on price. This is where liquidity was swept, made that new higher high. Now, are we going to need to take the buy side liquidity above here before that pullback? Or will the sell side liquidity, which is now taken from DXY, right, and we now have SMC divergence coming into play if we stay how we are now around here, where we have this high to this lower high and this low to this lower low? Is this sell side liquidity sponsorship from DXY from the previous daily low going to sponsor its own bullish move up into this 1 hour POI here, where it's left that high as an inducement? It's already mitigated this, so it may just continue going lower really, but as I mentioned a minute ago, we have that 1 hour candle, that last candle unmitigated, so sell side liquidity could possibly cause a bullish move here on DXY. Early signs with SMC divergence could be the signal for bearish move here. Now we've also come up into a POI here, right? We haven't mitigated this candle, but it is an imbalance as well here on the hourly. So you can see that there, 1 hour order block with imbalance, which we've just mitigated, where we have SMC divergence and also where DXY has taken sell side liquidity. So I do see a bias, at least for the session, for us to go lower in price, right? We do have confluences for that, so I'll probably look out for that. We can look for shorts from up here and longs, I would say, from down here. So I would be interested in shorts from this premium. I do think we've got an early trend change as well. So again, we can continue with that trend from down in this area. So let's go down to the M15, see what that may look like. Okay, so as we know, we're into this 1 hour fair value gap, right, which has an order block behind it. There is this M15 order block just above. Maybe price will go higher and mitigate that. We'll see if this situation plays out. Of course, the SMC can still stay in, but for us to go short, we've now taken the buy side liquidity from above our Asia sessions, right, and above this small internal high here. More importantly, we've taken the sell side liquidity from the previous daily low on DXY. We have a draw on price above, draw on price below here, right, for our premium and discount. So I do see price possibly coming down to this discount. At the moment, I don't see any trade, any entry. So what I would need would be for price to show some structure here and then break that structure. Okay, I need to see these lows go here because this is the 15-minute low, and then price pull back to order block with imbalance, right, that was left behind, to then continue going lower. So I would need to see this. This is what it would look like for me. Break of structure around this area, leaving behind that order block. We've taken the buy side liquidity above these highs already, but we've mitigated a higher time frame POI. So I just need some structure to just break really to give us that direction. Okay, possible inducement during that pullback, right, with this lower high for us to mitigate and have our order just above it, stop loss just above the high, and then just aim towards that discount for 3% personally. It's quite possible that DXY can continue bearish, which is why I wait for these breaks of structure, obviously, to show its intention to go higher and lower from here. On EU, of course, it looks like it makes sense. We have this bullish leg, we come back to a discount. On DXY, obviously it looks a bit different because of that SMC divergence where we've already made that lower low, but we still have the same draw on price if we're going to have that sort of complex pullback here. So this is what I want to see on EU. I need to see this structure shift. It may happen first on the M5. I think I'll wait for an M15, right? Because we have draws on price above. We have liquidity above as well that price may just go into first before any type of movement towards its discount. So that's everything for EU. Let's move on. So we're on to GJ, a non-USD correlated pair. We're on the daily chart. What's the daily showing us? Well, yesterday we had a bearish day. Just a doji, pretty much matching the previous day before that, except we took that buy side liquidity and closed out bearish. Today we are extremely bearish already, right? It's a JPY pair, so it's been moving overnight quite a lot down in towards this gap here. So there's not a lot to show on the daily, but we do seem to have bearish momentum. We do have a lovely trend line here. Maybe there was enough buy side liquidity here for us to have turned around in price now, but we do still have draws on that liquidity above, right? We still need to fill this imbalance. Possibly there's an imbalance above as well. So for now, we're probably still in that bullish trend, but we'll see what the lower time frame looks like. So let's go down to the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is a bit more of a difficult read, right? Because we were having those clear bullish legs. Let's say this low to this high, then we have this higher low. Then it's more, where do you see the next high? Is it here or here? So let's just say it's this entire leg because we gapped massively here. Price opened up very bullish, made that high, consolidated a bit, then made a new high. So maybe on the 1 hour, now that we've broken below these lows, it looks like a trend change. For the 4 hour, I'm not certain yet that trend's changed until maybe this low here goes, because we have this low to these highs. One thing is for certain, we have come and filled this POI. We're in this order block right here where we had our imbalance on the open. So price is rejecting this imbalance and order block at the moment, okay, for that all that sell side liquidity below these lows, and we may be having a bullish move from here. We'll just see how far it goes. Okay, so yesterday of course we set buy side liquidity and broke down beautifully. Now we filled this gap. It may hold as some sort of support for the moment, but we'll see if there's any resistance to maybe continue this bearish move or to get in any longs. So let's go down to that 1 hour, see if there's any clarity there. Right, so here on the 1 hour, I would say we've got a new bearish leg. Okay, we was clearly making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, and then we wicked up, made this higher high, but swept, closed out as a sweeping candle, taking this buy side liquidity, and went on to make a lower low, right? Clear lower low, breaking below all these lows, all that sell side liquidity taken, and we filled that 1 hour imbalance as well today, and now that gap is filled completely and we're having a sort of bullish reaction, a little rebound from this zone here. So this is providing support for the meantime and may just be a pullback to somewhere. Now if I look up into the premium of this leg, there's no imbalances left behind that are clear anyway with order blocks, right? So we have this huge order block back here, but there's no real imbalance from it that I would see price being drawn to mitigate. So we may just mitigate this 1 hour POI here in the discount and continue our bearish trend. So I'll be looking out to see what happens around this New York daily open zone here, which is where the 1 hour POI is. All right, there's a lot of bearish momentum this morning. We're pulling back. We'll see if structure finds some sort of resistance there to continue in this direction or not. So let's go down to the M15 to what a trade idea may look like. All right, so from what I see on the M15 here, it's not as pretty as I'd like it to be. Right, we did gradually make our way lower. Momentum coming this morning from this Asia session, and then we broke down again in London. So the 1 hour POI is just above here where this M15 imbalance is, with an order block behind it as well. We'll see if price comes into this area and then continues to make that shift lower. I think overall, I'll just be waiting for structure to break again. Or if price comes up to the 1 hour POI and develops some structure, right? Maybe it does something like this, comes up, grabs the buy side liquidity above this high and all of these highs here, mitigates this 1 hour POI, fills that imbalance here and mitigates the order block, and then breaks down. Something like that I think would look good. And then we pull back to our lower time frame POI, order block with imbalance, to then trade towards this week low here and beyond, really. So possibility of buy side liquidity being taken above all these highs. 1 hour POI mitigated, M15 order block. Okay, price was to leave behind order block with imbalance around here after a break in structure, and then possibly pulling back correctively, as I say, towards our order block, leaving some buy side liquidity to mitigate. We can set our order stop loss just above the highs, head towards the lows. Okay, so the scenario may not look exactly like this, but I'm looking for price to come up, possibly hold this POI, either way take some buy side liquidity and then break down. Now if price is to continue and just break down, then of course we can look for something, if there's anything around these zones, to then continue a short. But I don't see any POIs here. I would love to see a buy side liquidity sweep. So maybe if we come above these highs, take this buy side liquidity, mitigate this area and break down, like I was saying previously. So that's what I would like to look for. So that's everything. I hope you gain value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.